Before we begin, imagine an evening filled with bright lights, loud cheers, endless excitement, and a sea of fans ready to celebrate their favorite stars. Everything seems perfect, the atmosphere buzzing with energy and glamour. But then, within that overwhelming brightness, something shifts. Something soft, tender, and completely unexpected takes place. A moment that changes the energy in the room and turns a regular public appearance into a memory the entire fandom will never forget. A moment when Freen, without hesitation, stepped forward to protect the person she cared about most. A moment when Becky's strength wavered, and Freen's instinct to shield her became the center of the night. A simple cardigan transformed into a symbol of care, comfort, and the kind of affection that doesn't need words. This is the story of the night Becky got sick during a public event and Freen covered her gently with her cardigan in front of everyone. Hello fans, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the post notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Tonight, we dive into the full emotional moment that warmed hearts, brought tears to many eyes, and reminded fans why the bond between Freen and Becky remains one of the most admired connections in the entertainment world. This is the complete, unfiltered story of what happened that night, how Becky tried to push through even when her body was giving up, and how Freen instinctively acted the moment she realized something was wrong. The event began like any other glamorous gathering. The stage was bright, the music was loud, and fans filled the venue with excitement. Freen and Becky arrived radiant and beautiful, walking together with their usual elegance. Becky, despite her sweet smile, seemed slightly quieter that evening. Fans later said they noticed her blinking slower than usual, rubbing her fingers together as if grounding herself, and shifting her weight every few minutes as though something felt off. Still, she greeted fans, posed for photos, and tried to maintain her usual warm presence. Freen, standing beside her, kept glancing her way, noticing every small detail like she always did. The way Becky's hands trembled slightly, the way her smile didn't fully reach her eyes, the way her shoulders seemed tense beneath the harsh lights. Freen didn't say anything yet, but you could see the growing worry in her expression. She stayed close, silently monitoring every movement. As the event progressed, Becky's discomfort became more visible. Her breathing grew shallow, her posture stiffened, and the color drained slowly from her face. Fans in the front row captured the moment she closed her eyes for a few seconds longer than a blink, trying to steady herself. At first, people thought she was simply tired. But then, like a wave rolling across the crowd, concern washed through the audience. Something wasn't right. The turning point happened suddenly. Becky took a small step back, her body swaying as if the floor had shifted under her. She pressed her hand to her chest and tried to inhale, but her breath came out unsteady. The crowd went silent, the noise dropping to a low hum. People watched with rising panic, unsure of what was happening. Phones recorded everything, capturing the exact second Becky's strength faltered. But before any staff member reacted, before anyone ran forward to help, Freen moved. Swift, instinctive, and filled with worry. Her body reacted before her mind could process it. She reached Becky in seconds, placing one hand on her arm and the other on her back, steadying her gently but firmly. The expression on Freen's face changed completely. The playful smile disappeared, replaced by fear, protectiveness, and deep concern. Fans who recorded the moment said it felt like watching a scene from a drama, but far more emotional because it was real. Freen leaned close, whispering something softly to Becky, trying to ground her, trying to keep her steady. Becky looked up at her, eyes unfocused, her breathing uneven. She tried to smile, maybe to reassure Freen, but the attempt failed as her knees weakened again. Freen reacted instantly. She removed her cardigan with one quick motion, wrapping it around Becky's shoulders with a gentleness that brought tears to many fans watching. The lights were cold, the air was chilly, and Becky's body trembled from weakness. Freen tucked the cardigan around her carefully, adjusting it like she had done it 1,000 times. Her hands moved with familiarity, not hesitation. The crowd stood frozen. The cameras kept rolling. But the world around them faded as Freen focused only on Becky, brushing her hair back, cupping her cheek, and guiding her away from the harsh spotlight. Freen maintained one hand at the small of Becky's back, her other hand gripping Becky's arm to ensure she didn't fall. Fans saw everything. The tenderness. The urgency. The fear. The care. The way Becky leaned into Freen's touch as if trusting her completely. The staff rushed forward at last, offering support, but Freen held up a hand without speaking, silently signaling that she had Becky and that they could give her space. People respected it. No one argued. Everyone sensed that Freen's presence was exactly what Becky needed in that moment. A fan video captured the exact second Freen cradled Becky's face gently, checking her temperature with her palm. Becky closed her eyes, breathing shakily, clearly overwhelmed by the lights, the heat, and her weakening condition. Freen whispered something again, her voice calm but filled with emotion. Even without audio, fans said it was obvious Freen was telling her to hold on, that she was right there, that she wasn't alone. Moments like this do not need sound to be understood. The expressions told the entire story. When Becky tried to straighten herself, Freen shook her head and pulled her closer, guiding her step by step toward a calmer part of the stage. She kept her arm around Becky's waist, holding her steady, shielding her from the eyes that felt too sharp, too many, too overwhelming in Becky's fragile state. Fans watched with their hearts in their throats. Some cried. Some whispered prayers. Some praised Freen for reacting faster than anyone else. Many later wrote online that Freen's protectiveness in that moment felt so natural, so real, so raw, that it became impossible to ignore the depth of their connection. As Freen walked Becky to the side, she never let go. Even when staff tried to take over, Freen remained beside Becky, adjusting the cardigan whenever it slipped, rubbing her back gently, encouraging her to breathe slowly. Becky held onto Freen's hand, her grip weak but full of trust. Then came the moment that went viral everywhere. Becky, still dizzy, leaned her head on Freen's shoulder for support. The crowd gasped, not out of shock, but out of overwhelming emotion. Freen didn't flinch. She simply held Becky, wrapping an arm around her, letting her rest as long as she needed. In that single moment, the noise of the event disappeared. The weight of the cameras, the pressure of the stage, everything dissolved. It was just the two of them, sharing a moment of vulnerability and comfort, unaware that millions of eyes would soon witness it too. Once Becky stabilized enough to walk, Freen guided her backstage, never breaking physical contact. She slowed her pace to match Becky's weakened steps. She whispered reassurance, brushed away sweat from her temple, and made sure the cardigan stayed wrapped around her properly. Staff members later said Freen refused to leave Becky's side. She stayed with her in the resting area, fanning her gently, offering water, checking her temperature repeatedly, and ensuring she was warm. Becky held onto Freen's sleeve, leaning close, still wrapped in the cardigan that had now become the center of an unforgettable moment. Fans began posting clips within minutes. The internet exploded with emotion, admiration, and endless discussions. Edits filled timelines, slow-motion videos spread everywhere, and fans around the world expressed their love for the bond they witnessed. Many said Freen's reaction was the purest expression of care they had ever seen. Others wrote long posts describing how emotional it felt to watch Becky so vulnerable and Freen so protective. People pointed out how Freen never once looked away from Becky after the incident. Every movement was anchored by worry, love, and instinct. Whenever Becky shivered, Freen adjusted the cardigan. Whenever Becky blinked slowly, Freen reached to steady her. The world saw it. The internet felt it. And the moment became one of the most talked about events in their shared history. As the night ended, Freen walked Becky to the car personally, keeping her close, still wrapped in her cardigan. Fans who saw them leave said Becky looked small and tired, while Freen looked like she was carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders, worried but relieved that Becky was finally out of the crowds and the noise. That image stayed with everyone. The cardigan wrapped around Becky like a shield. Freen supporting her with every step. Their connection shining through without a single word spoken aloud. Simple moments often carry the greatest meaning. And that night, the cardigan became more than just clothing. It became a symbol of warmth, protection, and unconditional care. A reminder that love is often shown in quiet gestures, in instinctive reactions, and in the way two people hold on to each other when the world becomes too heavy. Thank you for tuning in to K-Drama Bloom.